Long off and long on.
Good!
Oh, has she? Oh, brilliant! Stunning!
Awareness, the wherewithal, knowing where you are right next to the boundary, tiptoeing and getting the timing just right. Horizontal as well.
Absolutely superb!
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, look at what Bitcoin did. Exactly what we thought it was going to do. And this is why I said, if you were looking to take the trade, we were sitting exactly on the heart line. I basically put my video out at the absolute bottom of the move right here. And I said there was that potential that we bounce up. We are going to maybe hit some resistance at around 21,600. And there was the potential chance that we could have, we could come back down to 20,000, which is why I said don't go all in on the trade, but we did start layering sort of back in, right? And if it does go down, we'll buy some more down here as well. I'm going to go into the charts in just a bit, but I really want to talk about a few other things because, for example, today, everyone is freaking out again because we have the Fed making their decision today at 2 p.m. Then Powell's going to talk at 2:30. Then we have Meta earnings report at 4. A lot of other companies are going to have their reports. And we saw what happened with Walmart and we saw all these different things. Even Coinbase stock is crashing with the insider trading. Lots of negativity in the space. People calling for 12K Bitcoin, 10K Bitcoin, 6K Bitcoin. I am going to tell you in this video today, and you're going to want to watch this video all the way to the end. I'm going to show you in the charts using historical data why Bitcoin is doing something like it has never done before. Actually, it technically did something similar to what we're doing one time before. And if you had bought at that time, Bitcoin pumped almost 100% from that price level. And specifically what's going on right now, even with just this stuff, with the Fed, I'm going to show you why I believe that the next 2 months could be a massive Bitcoin rally opportunity, and we're going to have multiple opportunities to put in a lot of different types of trades. So we're going to get into that in just a bit. If you're not subscribed to the Crypto Zombie channel, now is the time to get subscribed. It's about to get exciting. You don't want to miss it. Turn on the bell notification for these videos. Now, before I get into the charts, let me just focus a little bit more on today because a lot of people are worried. They're panicking about the earning reports and the Fed tightening. Gareth Soloway pointed out, he said, is the Fed flexible to slow hiking if the economy collapses? Or are they determined to force inflation to 2% regardless of the damage, right? And that's what people are worried about. Are they going to stick to their hawkish stance? Now, just keep in mind that this is their last meeting before they take a 2-month break. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? When the cat's away, the mice will play, right? That's what they say. So essentially, we're not going to have anything coming out of the Fed for 2 months. So I do believe that will give the markets a little bit of breathing room. Now, currently, that's not my full reason, by the way. That is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Stick around. So that will take some kind of pressure off, right? Now, in the next essentially, they're saying that what the economists are calling for is that there's only a 10% chance that today there's a 100 basis point move. Obviously, some of you might know this by the time you're watching this video, if you're watching it tomorrow or later on in the day, but then they're expecting a lower one, for example, in September, 50 and maybe 25 in November, essentially saying that inflation has peaked, right? But that's sort of what everyone's talking about. Let me go into the Bitcoin charts again and show you specifically what I'm looking at. Now, for everyone who is out there looking to trade, okay, definitely get subscribed. I have entered a small one here. I haven't gotten in with my full position because there is a chance that we come back down and retest the bottom of this this upward sloping trend. It is, in fact, if you look at this right here, it is an ascending triangle. You can't say that's not what it is. This, you could say, was a little bit of a fake out. Either way, higher highs, higher lows. We're forming a new trend, right? The trend is your friend, even though the ultimate trend is down, but this small trend that we're in right now is starting to move up. And at some point, we have those macro reversals, right? This could be the opportunity for really building a massive position, especially if you're looking to do some low leverage or something like that, which, by the way, guys, I do recommend if you're going to be trading, do it over on BITGET. And by the way, I'm actually going to be putting out a tutorial, so make sure that you turn on notifications for that. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade, check out the other tutorials I have above, but I'm going to make one specifically for BITGET since I know a lot of you guys have been trading on that recently. But, that's short-term price action. let's look at the macro picture and let me explain to you why I do believe that we are getting to that bottom, okay? So you could see right here, when we have these other moves, people are saying, oh, well, look what happened with this move, and then we dumped, and then this move, and then we dumped, and then this move, and people are saying we're just going to dump down to the bottom of this channel, right? Why should we pump, right? Because we're in a downtrend, we should keep going down. But if you look at the structures, these were different. This structure was lower highs and lower lows, okay? This structure was a little bit kind of higher lows, higher highs, but then we had a lower high, right? So this negated the move right here, hence why we had that dump. If we come over here, what are we doing? We're putting in higher lows and we're putting in higher highs, and you can draw it like this, and you could say it's an upwards, an upwards channel, or you can just, say that this was a fake out, not count this, and essentially say that we're still in an ascending triangle, which is in fact a bullish pattern. Now, I can already hear the people screaming in the comments, oh no, it's a bear flag, it's a bear pennant. Okay, if that's what you think it is, but before we say that it's a bear pennant, let me show you a few more things that's going on right now, okay, guys? So this is so unbelievably important. We have these two critical moving averages that essentially form the pi cycle bottom, right? And you could see that every time we have these cross, we do in fact hit the bottom. So right here, this marked the bottom basically to the day. Actually, we can go to let me make it a little more, well, I need the monthly because I want to show you guys something on the monthly. Essentially, this level right here, 21,590 is the 50 on the monthly, and that's the level that we want to close, right? But if I just get that out of there real quick, and stick with me, guys, I know I'm rambling a bit, but stick with me. It's gonna all make sense in a minute, all right? You can see right here that every single time we get this pi cycle bottom indicator, look at where it came in right here. That was the bottom. That was the capitulation wick. Bitcoin never went lower than that again. Now, we didn't necessarily, absolutely skyrocket at that point, but we never went lower again. If we zoom in here, what did we get? Pi cycle bottom. We had the cross, called it on the exact week again. This was a perfect indicator for the bottom, right? This was the COVID crash. We didn't get any indication on that. And coming over here, you could see that we got the pi cycle indicator again, bottom, saying that we had bottomed 2 weeks ago. Now, this was not the exact bottom, but keep in mind Bitcoin's structure was a little bit different than it usually has been, with the rounded tops and things like that. So that's obviously the thing we've been talking about on the channel for quite some time. But we need to talk about a little bit more reasons. Now, up here, real quick, and I just want to also let you guys know, if there was to possibly be a worst case scenario where Bitcoin was going to dump or something crazy like that, the levels that I would be looking for would not be anything down in this area. Bitcoin has already built the support. You can see right here, we're already starting to curve, okay, on this previous psychological resistance. But if we were to fall, and this is a big if, a big psychological number falling through the 20 down to 13,800, but I'm just going to let you know why I don't think that's probably going to happen. It could happen. It's never happened before in Bitcoin's history. But if it was to happen, the reason that I don't think we'd go any lower than that is because we had all of this consolidation here, and we also had multiple months closing here, okay? So that is exactly why. But let's talk about the big picture here. So if we have a look at these moving averages, right, and you can see right here, we have this green, which is the 21 exponential moving average on the weekly. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that the 21 exponential is a very, very important indicator. Usually, once we get above it, we tend to stay above it for a pretty good amount of time. And oftentimes, when we fall below it, well, we usually end up in a little mini bear trend, right? And then we also have this 100 moving average on the weekly. Now, we already know about the 200, right? Everybody knows about that. But if you look at these particularly and how they line up with the RSI and what they do and when it happens, this might just blow your mind. So if we zoom in right here, okay, let's see right here the week that it actually flashed, or that we had the cross, right? So we had this bearish cross right here, right? And look at this, guys. What happened? Exactly 1 week later, the next week, we had the capitulation bottom. And we also had RSI dipping into the 30. You could see it right down here. It went to 30. So basically, in a nutshell, we had the cross. The next week was the low. And then we put in an RSI that hit 30. Now, you can argue here that there was this little wick that we had, in August of 2015. All right, it technically wasn't the exact bottom, but if you look at the candle closes, the closing of the candle bodies, then yes, it was the bottom. And that was an amazing opportunity to buy. Now, if we go up here okay? And we look at the next time it happened. The next time it crossed right here was December 3rd, or at least the week of December 3rd in 2018. And essentially what happened? The next week, we got the low for the market. And look what happened. At the same time, the RSI came down, it hit 30, and that was the bottom. Now, once again, it didn't, go to the moon right afterwards. In fact, it kind of crawled sideways and upwards for a little bit before having that blast off move. But nevertheless, that was in fact the bottom. And, we're going to skip COVID because that was a black swan event. So lots of signals just didn't really fire correctly on the COVID crash because it just kind of came out of nowhere, right? But moving over to here, what do we have going on? Well, we have the cross again, guys, the 21 exponential moving below the 100 on the weekly, okay? And we have the RSI dipping below 30, right? And look what happened. 1 week after that, that is when we got the $17,600 wick for Bitcoin over on the index. So if history was to repeat the way that it usually does repeat, we have all of these confirming. We have the pi cycle indicator. We have minor capitulation. We are struggling around the 200 weekly moving average, I will agree, but we are very close. We're very, very close to it. And we've had the same type of a crossover event with a massive liquidation wick the next week, and we had the RSI dipping below 30. So this is showing me that we are definitely in a buying opportunity. Now, if that's not enough, that you don't think it's bottoming out, you don't think it's a good buying opportunity, this is the yearly charts for Bitcoin. So every one of these candles is a year, going back to 2010, 2011, 2012, okay? You could see for the most part, Bitcoin usually tends to, with the exception back here, you could say, 3 green candles, red candle, 3 green candles, red candle, 3 green candles, red candle, right? With the exception of, maybe back here. But ultimately, what is something that you notice here? If you look, we never had a red candle that ever closed lower than the previous year green candle, right? So in other words, this green year, 2013 opened at around $13, right? So we didn't have Bitcoin fall below $13, even though it was a red year. Same thing here in 2018 compared to 2017. 2018 Bitcoin bear market, right? And keep in mind, this is why if you look at the 13,800, this is very important. But look, we fell down, but we never got lower than this green candle. Now, if you come over here and you look at what we're doing, well, it shows that we are actually below the previous year. So last year, the markets opened at around $28,960. So currently, at the levels that the markets are at right now, means that this would be the first time in Bitcoin's history, if we were to close this year below 28,000, that would ever happen. Now, there was a time back here in 2015 where we did have this candle wicking below, right? But what ended up happening? Well, from bottom to top right here, by the time the end of the year closed, we had about a 92% pump, right? So everyone down in this level in 2015 that was thinking that the markets were going to dump, that were thinking that Bitcoin was dead and it was over and we were going to keep falling, well, we actually ended up closing that month from the bottom up about 92%. And you could see right now, if we were to go up about 92% from where we are right now, that would close the end of the year at around $34,500 for Bitcoin. By the way, shout out to Salsa Tequila for the influence of this over on Twitter, which, by the way, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, make sure that you do, because sometimes I post over there and I don't always get a chance to put everything in the video. So if you want things really fast and up to date right to your phone, it's at the Crypto Zombie, and you'll know it's me because I'm actually verified. So yeah, shout out to Salsa Tequila for that one. But also shout out to Arcane Research and Coin Bureau, because here is yet another reason why I believe the bottom could be in or close, and we could be looking for that 2-month power move for Bitcoin. Obviously, the Fed, they're taking a break, right? But look at this, what these guys pointed out. So there's 236,237 Bitcoin that has been liquidated by large known entities since May 12th. You have Luna Foundation Guard, you have Tesla, you have Purpose Bitcoin ETF, Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, WBTC, 3AC related Contagion, public Bitcoin miners, and public Bitcoin miners selling in May and June, right? So obviously what we're seeing here is major capitulation. People go, oh, we didn't see capitulation yet. Oh, this isn't capitulation? This isn't capitulation. Celsius claiming Chapter 11 bankruptcy, Tesla selling their Bitcoin, Luna Foundation selling all their Bitcoin to try to save, Terra Luna, which fell 99% and then fell another 99%. That's not capitulation. We need more pain in the markets. We're, going back here, we're seeing a red yearly candle that's lower than the previous year, which is something that we've never closed out the year before. The RSI is in the lowest levels that we've ever seen in the history of the RSI. Not only is it dipping below 30, but it went down to 24.9. We've never seen it that low. Oh, but no, guys, we didn't have the capitulation yet. No, didn't happen yet, right? Guys, when we were at $3,000 Bitcoin and people were calling for $1,000 Bitcoin, we said no. If you go back and watch the videos, we said it's just not possible. We were forming an Adam and Eve bottom, and we knew that was the time to start accumulating. And we accumulated a lot of Bitcoin at 3,000, and then we traded it all the way from, as soon as we broke this major, we broke the downward sloping trend. Actually, I can show you exactly when I knew that it was time to start, going hard, going ham. Right here, guys, right there. When we broke that trend, that was when we knew. And that's what we're looking for here too. We're looking for the same thing. I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but I get excited when I look at these charts. Trend right here, right? So we're not there yet. But when we break this trend, it's time to go ham. And I do think essentially that the bottom is in, guys. So, once again, friendly reminder, this fractal is still playing out as usual, and really all we have to do is close above the 200 weekly moving average around 22,700, and also close above the 50 moving average, which is possible. And it is possible that the markets are in fact pricing all of this in. So once again, guys, make sure you get subscribed, get the notification bell on, and I'm going to be dropping a updated tutorial for BitGet if you guys are interested in trading. There's actually $6,888 in bonuses if you use my link specifically below. If you don't use the link below, you still get bonuses, but you won't get as much, okay? You have to specifically use that one. And as far as the news goes today, ARK Invest sold 1.4 million of their Coinbase shares because of the bad news of the insider trading. And Mark Cuban says, be careful because regulation is going to be really terrible and crazy and scary, okay? So that was basically all the news for today, but I wanted to let you guys know what I'm looking at in the charts, why I'm feeling kind of bullish right now. And okay, so maybe, the Fed comes out with 100 basis points or something, I don't know, and there's a little flick. Maybe there's some bad earning reports. Maybe we go into a recession, but we're not really in a recession because we changed the definition. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, guys, technically speaking, I say ignore the noise because, everyone was calling for 100,000 and that didn't happen. Now everyone's calling for 10,000, 5,000. I'm telling you, Bitcoin has a tendency of definitely surprising people when they least expect it. And you can just see it in the charts. You can see it in the sentiment. You can see it globally. And I just personally think if we have a look, historically speaking, this is the time. And I do think we could be looking for a major rally back to around that $28,000 to $30,000 level over the next course of the next 2 months. And there will be a lot of opportunities for trades. And yes, you can make money in these markets. So make sure you get subscribed, turn on the bell notification. I will be walking you through what I'm going through, what I'm looking at every single day. And of course, if you do want to learn to trade, make sure that you watch one of these 2 tutorials popping up right here, right now. Until next time, my name's K-Dub, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.